This is the Bucks POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Milwaukee Bucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
It's a 139-118 victory for the Milwaukee Bucks, fresh after the All-Star break. They win before the All-Star break, and they begin their second half of the season with another victory, this one on the road against the New Orleans Pelicans, 139-118. Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Locked On Bucks POSTCAST. I'm your host. My name is Brandon Stein. You can follow me over on Twitter at Brandon_Snide. Lots to get to on the program tonight. No Butchie tonight. Butchie on assignment this evening. So you're solo with me celebrating the Bucks 139-118 victory. We'll dive into the turning point. We'll talk about the Locked On Bucks POSTCAST player of the game. And of course, it's a victory. You know how it is. Your thoughts, your reaction, your celebrations on the program are welcomed. We will definitely get to them this evening as we break down the Bucks' 24th victory of the year. As always, thank you guys for making Locked On Bucks part of your day each and every day. Friendly reminder, wherever you guys get audio podcasts, you can now find the Locked On Bucks POSTCAST as well. Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon. We are also over live on YouTube breaking it down. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video for me, and make sure you hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Get notified when we go live. The 20th different starting lineup tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks. No Miles Turner in this one, but boy, did Ryan Rollins get the Bucks started off fast on offense tonight. 3 of 3 from three-point range. Bobby Portis coming off the bench this evening and having a fantastic game. The Bucks in general, you could say a strong night from everybody. AJ Green, if there's one negative about the Bucks tonight in New Orleans, AJ Green, 30 minutes, only took 4 shots, no points. But other than that, everybody pouring in double figures. You had Pete Nance with 10, Ousmane Dieng with 10, Cam Thomas with 27, Bobby Portis with 17 off of the bench. You had some other guys on the bench as well who ate up some minutes at the end of this one. But this, an interesting game for the Milwaukee Bucks because it was kind of back and forth for a little bit in that second quarter. Again, the Bucks grabbing that lead about halfway through that second quarter and never looked back from that moment. But when you looked at the halftime break, now the Bucks were up by a couple of points, and it felt like the end of the game statistically for the New Orleans Pelicans. They had 56 points in the paint at halftime. They had 65 total points. That was the issue for the Milwaukee Bucks. Zion Williamson creating all kinds of havoc tonight against this Milwaukee Bucks defense in the paint. He had a Pelicans team high 32 points. Cam Thomas team high for the Bucks. So I guess he had a game high 32 points. Cam Thomas with 27, as did Ryan Rollins for the Milwaukee Bucks. But the big difference in this one, and we'll break down the turning point, we'll break down the Locked On Bucks POSTCAST player of the game, but boy, where the Bucks kind of started to feel like this was going in their direction, and again, we'll get into the turning point, but Cam Thomas, you guys, in that second quarter, just lit this game on fire. 18 points, a career high in a quarter for him, with 18 in that second quarter. Not easy shots either from Cam. He had a few in there, but he really got the Bucks offense rolling in that second quarter. And then from that moment on, from that third quarter onto that fourth, the adjustments at halftime. I know there's a lot of reasons to be mad at Doc Rivers. I know there's a lot of things to be upset about when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks front office. Cam Thomas, Kevin Porter Jr., Ousmane Dieng tonight. I mean, these are the guys that this front office has gone out and acquired over the last year or so, a couple of these guys as of the last few weeks, and it just feels different. It feels different. The energy feels different. Now, New Orleans, yes, they're 15-42. They're likely going to be in play for the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft lottery. I understand it's nothing to write home about. I understand it's nothing to go crazy about with a 139-118 win, but you still don't have Giannis. You still didn't have Miles Turner, which is kind of sneaky, worrisome a little bit with Miles Turner. It's a calf strain as well for Miles. Obviously, you feel like Giannis is getting close. The Bucks are going to have a boatload of games at Pfizer Forum coming up, 9 of their next 10, I believe, at home. So that's going to be a positive thing schedule wise and obviously travel wise. And hopefully you get Giannis back in that stretch. But you're winning ball games. Again, you can't make your schedule. It's not up to the Milwaukee Bucks on who is on their schedule and who is not on their schedule. But you're starting to win ball games now where you're able to piece together a handful of wins and chunk wins. You're 6-1 in your last 7 games. So that is the positive right now for this Milwaukee Bucks team. Things will get difficult. The opponents will get difficult. But as long as you're handling business when you should be handling business, and a 139-118 victory is handling business on a road against a team you should beat, against a team who poured in a boatload of points in the paint in that first half. But give credit to the Milwaukee Bucks defense in the second half, most notably in that fourth quarter, really kind of pulling away from this game with about 7:40 left in that fourth quarter and holding New Orleans to a game low in a quarter, 22 in that fourth quarter. So when it needed to be done, the Bucks were able to get it done in that fourth quarter. And again, you're winning games without your best players. I know Miles Turner has been somewhat of a disappointment to this point. I'm not here to defend him and say and give the excuses, but when you don't have him or Giannis, those are arguably two of your better players. Giannis is obviously your best player. Miles Turner's in that conversation, and that could be a discussion of why the disparity, there were so many points in the paint this morning. Let's see. They finished with 84. The New Orleans Pelicans did 84 points in the paint, and they had 118 points in the game. They had 56 at half. So at least the Bucks in that second half were able to kind of slow things down and slow Zion Williamson down a little bit and be able to grab that lead in that fourth quarter and never look back. 3 20 or more point scorers tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, they were sharing the ball was moving. Again, I know they're still 6 games under 500. With the win tonight, they're 24-30 on the season. 28 assists tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks. They beat New Orleans by 6 in that category. It just felt, and it has felt different, right? It has felt differently. The ball is moving a lot more. Again, Kevin Porter Jr., 7 assists. Ryan Rollins with 6. Those 2 of your main ball handlers right there. And it just feels like things are starting to kind of just fall back into place. And I thought Wes Matthews, who was on the Bucks television broadcast, brought up a good point, right? You kind of look at the season in chunks. You look at every 5 games or so, every 7 games or so, and you want to be playing your best ball after the All-Star break, playing your best basketball going into the most important stretch of the season. Now, there's a couple things with that. The Bucks have dug themselves a little bit of a hole, so they're trying to find their way and get out of that hole. But you're 6-1 in your last 7, and you still aren't even close to having a full team yet. At least the team that you envisioned to have at the beginning of the year, and certainly one that you hope to have going towards the end of the year. So again, a lot of people upset about John Horst and the inability to draft, and again, having his seat warming up a little bit because of the moves that he's made in the free agency, or if it's via trade or whatnot. He got it right with Kevin Porter Jr., right? Marjon Beauchamp was a part of that trade a year ago. He got it right with Cam Thomas. A lot of Bucks fans. Cam Thomas tonight, arguably the best player outside of Ryan Rollins. I mean, scoring wise, they both had 27. I thought Cam Thomas in that second quarter was massive and really got this game going offensively for the Bucks. And once they took that lead, like I said, when Cam Thomas was in that second quarter cooking, they never looked back. They never trailed once Cam Thomas got cooking in that second quarter. So you got to give John Horst credit for the Cam Thomas signing, right? Like, it didn't cost the Bucks anything. 24-year-old guy who can score. He's a bucket as he introduced himself to the team. Ousmane Dieng, the jury is still out, I think, right? We're still very early into his career. He's only 22 years old, a former lottery pick, though, 22 minutes, and he had 10 points. So what I've seen from him has been promising. And these are things that Ryan Rollins is another, part of the John Horst addition. Yeah, I know he didn't draft him, but being able to acquire the talent, I think, is ultimately what it comes down to. And tonight, the Bucks, and real quick, before we move on to Turning Point and Locked On Bucks postcast player of the game, in your thoughts, man, Kyle Kuzma was fun tonight. What a fun game. What a fun vibe, a good energy tonight from Kyle Kuzma. 14 points in 25 minutes. He brought it early. He brought it often. Bobby Portis was also part of that, kind of keeping that Bucks, either connected or keeping their lead early on in that first half. So really great thoughts tonight with this Milwaukee Bucks win. Everybody kind of pouring it in, minus AJ Green. We'll talk about AJ Green. I'm sure some of you guys have some thoughts on AJ Green. We'll get to all of that. We'll get to the turning point, and we'll also get to the Locked On Bucks postcast player of the game as the Bucks improve to 24-30 with a 139-118 victory this evening. Your thoughts, your reaction, turning point, and Locked On Bucks postcast player of the game coming up right after this. Tonight's Locked On Bucks postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Have you ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person? Well, FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll be automatically entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. That's right. The flights, the tickets, the whole experience. If you're already looking at the board and thinking which team can make a deep run, maybe it's the Bucks. This is the perfect time for you to lock in. And now, not only can you cash your pick, but it can also send you to the NBA Finals. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Tonight's Locked On Bucks postcast is also brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Welcome to the 5 Hour Energy Flavor Draft. We're looking at every aspect of the draft to let you know which tasty flavors are the best and which just might be sleepers. The board is set, the flavors are ready, and the only one is going to take the top spot. And which one is it is the big question. 5 Hour Energy shots give you a boost with zero sugar, and there's always a wide variety of flavors, always something for everyone, like strawberry banana, cotton candy, sour apple, and my current favorite, blue raspberry. That refreshing candy flavor, blue raspberry, always gets me going each and every single morning. Find your new favorite flavor of 5 Hour Energy shots available online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon.com. And lastly, tonight's victorious edition of the Locked On Bucks postcast is brought to you by Quo. New year, new systems. This is the time when a lot of us look at the messier parts of how we run our business and think there has just got to be a better way. And there is. Streamlining your communications is one of the quickest upgrades you can make. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Quo, the smarter way to run your business communications. Because when your team is reasonable, organized, and communicating all in one place, you're not just working cleaner, you're creating more opportunities to connect with your customers. And Quo's smart AI tools automatically log all your calls, summarize all of your conversations, and highlight every next step so details never slip through the cracks. Make this year where no opportunity and no customer slips away. Try Quo for free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/lockedonnba. That's QUO.com/lockedonnba. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. A fun victory for the Milwaukee Bucks after their All-Star break, a 139-118 victory. We're going to get into your thoughts. We're going to get into your reactions. We're going to get into your celebrations. But before we get into all of that, let's get into the turning point in the Bucks' 24th win of the year.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
For me, this one, I kind of mentioned Cam Thomas in the second quarter. The Bucks were obviously still kind of going a little bit of a back and forth in that second quarter, eventually grabbing the lead, never looking back. The third quarter, kind of the same. They never trailed in the third quarter. But for me, it started at about the 8-minute mark, a little bit after the 8-minute mark, and the Bucks were starting to pull away after a Pete Nance three. New Orleans calls a timeout. Then with about 6:29 left in the quarter, the Bucks go on a 7-2 run and went up 120-106. And that was clearly it. You could probably make the case a little bit before that, but I'm going to go about that 8-minute mark is when it started, and it really ended in the 6:29 mark in that fourth quarter when the Bucks go up 120-106 on a 7-2 run. Kevin Porter Jr. pouring it in that fourth quarter. He had 9 fourth quarter points and really kind of separated Milwaukee from New Orleans, helping the Bucks secure the victory 139-118. Let's get right into it. The Locked On Bucks postcast player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I feel like you could go a few different ways with this one because it felt like it started like it was going to be a Ryan Rollins game, right? I mentioned the 9 early points, 3 from 3 from 3-point range for Ryan Rollins, but I'm going to go with Cam Thomas, man, in this one. 27 points in 21 minutes. Kevin Porter Jr. also, as I'd mentioned, a big fourth quarter. He had 25 for the game to go along with the 7 assists. Man, when Kevin Porter Jr. is attacking the basket, like, it is a beautiful sight to watch. It is just a different Bucks team. And when he's able to find the open shooter, and the Bucks have him, like, they got him. And if they're going to knock him down, again, maybe I'm being a little bit too optimistic. Maybe you're not there yet as a Bucks fan. I hope you'll get there. I hope the Bucks make us get there. All of us get there. But it just feels like the vibes and the energy with this team are trending in the right direction. And the new guys are coming in. And the cool thing about it is this is Cam Thomas's second Locked On Bucks postcast player of the game. I think he's played in, 3 or 4 games maybe. And it's already the second time we're talking about Cam Thomas getting the honors. 11 of 17 from the field, as I mentioned, 27 points in 21 minutes. So Cam Thomas getting the honors as the Bucks win 139-118. Let's get into your thoughts, your reactions, your celebrations. Everydayer James over on YouTube. Huge win for the Bucks. Yeah, it was absolutely a huge, again, it's not a good team. Like, New Orleans isn't a good team. I understand where people are coming from. I understand all of that. I get, like, this isn't a win that's going to be like, well, okay, I'm there, but it's just New Orleans. A win is a win, and you won on the road, right? The Bucks are now 12-18 on the road. You can't make your schedule. You just have to play who's on your schedule. And the Bucks did that tonight. There were moments in the game where it was maybe this is not looking great. A lot of points in the paint. Zion Williamson leading the game in scoring, and you're just like, this could be one of those nights where the Bucks look okay, but it just couldn't stop a nosebleed. But they figured out a way to get it done. Oh, another comment here over on the YouTube chat. Let's get back home for the homestand. Let's try and get ourselves back into that playoff race with this homestand coming up. Let's go, Bucks. Yeah, you got a bunch of home games coming up here. The vibes are getting great. It just feels like the Bucks are trending in the right direction. Again, you're 6-1 in your last 7. That's really good. And I'll take it a step further. And maybe I'm feeling way too optimistic here. One bad quarter in Orlando. Remember, you had those 2 games in Orlando, that Monday and that Wednesday before the All-Star break. They won, I think it was the Wednesday game. They won. And then they lost the Monday game. And it was just one bad quarter in that Orlando game in the one that they lost. Like, it's hard not to go back and think, had they won that game, we're talking about 7 straight, like 6 of the last 7 is a great start to the second half of the season. Another comment here. Jane seems great, better than Thomas, because Cam is either shooting or doing nothing. And again, maybe I'm in the minority. I don't care if that's all Cam Thomas can do. That's what the Bucks need. You don't have Giannis right now. You don't have Miles Turner right now. You need to be able to get points and score them. And that's what Cam Thomas was brought here to do. They didn't go out and get Cam Thomas so that he can play defense or move the ball around. Yeah, it might change with Giannis. You're still going to want other things to change with when Giannis comes back, and players are going to have to adapt to the way Giannis plays. But you need buckets, guys. You need to be able to score. That's what Cam Thomas, he introduced himself. That's what he does. J Nova 707 over on YouTube. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you're not already, make sure you smash that thumbs up button for me. J Nova over on YouTube says, I noticed in the game when the threes weren't going in and the Pelicans took a lead, Doc and the Bucks got back to inside game and started getting easy buckets. Then the threes dropped and they ran away. Yeah, I mentioned Kevin Porter Jr. getting to the paint is a game changer, right? Ryan Rollins getting to the attack in the basket is a game changer for this Milwaukee Bucks team. And when they can consistently do that, I understand not everything is perfect, right? We got a couple comments here. We'll get right into it. As Nate over on YouTube says, AJ Green will lock up anyone he needs to and will light it up from 3 if he puts up 10 to 12 shots. He doesn't play the role he plays. That's the frustrating thing with AJ Green is the defense is never great. He can't stay out of foul trouble. Let's see how many fouls he had tonight. I don't think it was a bad following night from I don't know, it's not pulling up. Not from AJ Green, but I mean, I need more than 4 shots in 30 minutes from AJ Green. if you guys want to complain about Cam Thomas taking shots, okay, then you should be complaining that AJ Green's not taking enough shots in 30 minutes and only taking 4 shots. That needs to change for AJ Green if he's going to be in that role. As Mike Uncle over on YouTube says, AJ is supposed to be a shooter and he's trying to play make it don't make sense. Yeah, it's not necessarily adding up for me. And if you're going to be upset that Cam Thomas is putting in shots, then be upset that AJ Green's not putting up enough shots, because I would rather Cam Thomas go 11 of 17 with 27 points than AJ Green in 21 minutes, by the way, than AJ Green to go 0 for 4 and 0 points in 30 minutes. Like that's not acceptable to me. And what AJ is not able to do defensively, I think he needs to step up, certainly. And if he's going to play a big part, like he's going to play a big part. Giannis loves playing with AJ Green. AJ Green loves playing with Giannis. So when Giannis does come back, that's going to be something to keep your eye on. Julio over on YouTube will end it with this one. Says, we are so back. Yeah. I mean, again, 6-1 in your last 7, their 3rd straight victory, a strong night from the bench. There's no doubt about it. To Julio's point, I do feel like this Milwaukee Bucks team has turned the corner. The vibes are there. The energy's there. It's fun. Just ask yourself this the next time the Bucks play, and we'll talk about it again on Sunday afternoon. Are you excited to watch a Bucks game? And when was the last time you were able to tell yourself, this is maybe not appointment television, but I think we're getting to that point of appointment television and the excitement you're having to turn on a team and watch a team who's now won 6 of their last 7, 3 straight games. They're right on the outside looking into the play-in tournament as if the season were to end right now, 24-30. It's not great, the overall record, but again, you want to be playing your best basketball at this time of year, at least starting at this time of year, and that's exactly what I think this Milwaukee Bucks team is doing. So be excited, have fun, celebrate the victory. It's 139-118 over the New Orleans Pelicans. As I mentioned, the Bucks now improved to 24-30 on the season. That'll do it for tonight's show. My thanks to each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for dropping your thoughts, your reactions, and of course, your celebrations. Thank you guys for making Locked On Bucks part of your day each and every day. Friendly reminder, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, wherever you guys get audio podcasts, you can now get this one as well on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon. We're also over on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button for me, hit that notification bell. Get notified when we go live, and we will go live an early Sunday matinee game for the Milwaukee Bucks, a 2:30 tip. As soon as that game ends, you know it, we'll be here live breaking down, hopefully, the Bucks' 4th victory in a row, and it'll be fun to chat and get this team back home and keep the vibes moving in the right direction. Again, my thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you guys for making Locked On Bucks part of your day. And as always, win, lose, or draw, make sure you stay Locked On Bucks.